Hello and welcome back to Badminton Insight. In this video, we're going to teach you 3 very deceptive returns that you can use in both singles and doubles. So let's get straight into it with the Kevin Sulkamoyo special. If we pause this here, where do you think he's hitting the return to? Probably straight to about here, right? Well, that's what his opponents thought too.
And that is the first step to this deceptive return. You need to make it look like you're playing a straight shot. Then, at the last second, as your racket leg is passing your non-racket leg, you twist your upper body and drop your shoulder, whilst keeping your legs in the same position as you would for a straight shot. You then squeeze your grip to add power and hit it into the back corner. Sounds pretty simple, right? Well, often it's not that simple, and a lot of you out there might be thinking that you're not fast enough to take the shuttle as early as the pros. But the good news is that you can still play the shot effectively from a bit later. This might not be deceptive against the pros, but if you're taking it, say, 20% later, there's a good chance your opponent will be 20% slower than the pros to both see it and respond, and they'll therefore still be deceived.
That's right. Now, we've got 4 key points that you need to remember to be able to play this shot effectively. First, you need to be receiving on the right-hand side of the court if you're right-handed and the left-hand side of the court if you're left-handed. Second, you should play at least 1 straight return before you go for this deceptive shot.
Third, you can't turn your body and drop your shoulder too early, as this will show your opponents that you're going to play it cross-court. And fourth, this return only really works if the opponent has served around your non-racket arm shoulder. If the serve is across you or right onto the tee, it's going to be quite hard to pull off, so just bear that in mind and don't have Kevin's deceptive return as the only choice in your brain when you walk up to receive the serve. I'm going to do Kevin's deceptive return. Now, we've only shown doubles examples so far, but if your opponent serves low, then you can also do this in singles. You can also do this on your forehand side, sticking to similar principles we've mentioned throughout, showing the straight shot, then at the last second, dropping your racket arm shoulder and elbow slightly and bringing your wrist back to allow your strings to face cross-court. You then squeeze your grip to add power into the shot and hit it in the opposite direction.
So, once you've done a straight return and our first deceptive return, the next shot you can play, if you're going for all-out deception, is this. As you might have seen from those clips, this is my favourite. So let's go through the steps for you to master this too. You start by reaching towards the shuttle with your racket and body to show a cross-court shot. You then let the shuttle drop and bring your racket back whilst keeping your body facing cross-court. When the shuttle is around ½ a metre from your racket, you begin the deceptive part of the shot by moving your racket sideways and upwards, right to left if you're right-handed or left to right if you're left-handed. And just as you're about to strike the shuttle, you need to flick your wrist up so that your racket is almost horizontal. As you ideally want this shot to go to the rear court, you need to squeeze your fingers and thumb and also strike the shuttle as your racket foot lands, and these help you to create power.
It's important to mention that the shuttle should be roughly in line with you too, so you'd mainly use this return when your opponent has served to the tee. And can you do this on the forehand? Probably not, but something like this could work against slower opposition. It's quite hard to be consistent on this second return, as getting the perfect slice isn't always easy to do. This is probably why you don't see it used much at the professional level. However, what you do see a lot of at the professional level is our next return of serve, which is commonly used by pros such as Anthony Ginting. Again, if we pause this here, where do you think he's hitting the return to? Well, both us and Victor thought it was going straight.
And whilst the first 2 returns are more effective from the backhand side, this return is equally as effective from both sides. So, how do you do it? Well, for the forehand, you need to be on the left side as a right-hander and the right side as a left-hander. You look like you're going to play a straight net shot or lift, and then just before you strike the shuttle, you need to do 3 things. You need to slightly drop your racket arm shoulder, bring your elbow close into your chest, and turn your wrist so that it's facing upwards. This allows your strings to face cross-court for you to gently guide the shuttle cross.
But the backhand technique is quite different, so let's go through that too. So again, you want to look like you're going to play a straight net shot or lift, and then just before you strike the shuttle, you need to drop your wrist and bring your racket elbow up. You then again simply guide the shuttle cross-court. For both of these shots, you'll need to experiment how much you turn your wrist. You obviously don't want to turn it too much so that your shot almost goes backwards. But if you don't turn it enough, then your shot will go too far into the court and make it easier for your opponent to retrieve.
As we said earlier, against slow people or people that can't read the game as fast, you can take the shuttle later and still play these deceptive shots. Adding deception into your game, whether that's on the return of serve or even during the rallies, is really important. Not just because it's a nice feeling to send your opponents the wrong way, but it also means they feel uncomfortable in the match and don't know what to expect next. This then means they often delay all of their movement, generally giving you an advantage. But it's important to mention two common mistakes that we often see when people try to add deceptive returns into their game. The first is not using your body enough. You almost always need to make sure that your body, in terms of your movement and momentum, shows the opposite direction to where your deceptive shot is actually going. And the second mistake is having a tight, tense grip. All of the pros have a nice, relaxed grip, which enables them to quickly change the direction of their racket at the last second and helps to create this deception.
Adding these shots into your game can also be a lot of fun to learn. And if you like learning new skills, we'd love to spend the next 45 seconds talking about Skillshare, who are kindly sponsoring this video. For those who don't know, Skillshare is an online learning platform with thousands of inspiring classes, of which we've taken quite a few by now. One that we've watched recently is this class on iPhone photography by Dale McManus. You never know when you need to get a quick snap for Instagram.
Yeah, and I'm sure we all want to know how to take better photos and videos on our phones. One interesting tip we learnt from this class was how to use different angles to better tell a story. Like a low angle to show how big the world is, or a high angle to show that you're just a small part in the scene. What do you guys think to this photo we took? Well, we've all got to start somewhere, I guess.
So, if you're interested in watching videos on photography, business, productivity, the list goes on, then check out Skillshare. They're also continually launching new classes every week, and there are no ads. The first 1,000 people to use our link will get a 1-month free trial, no strings attached. You can use this time to learn as much as you like, and if you want to cancel afterwards, you can do so without being charged. So enjoy, and thanks to Skillshare for sponsoring this video.
If you've enjoyed this video and want to learn some more deceptive skills, we'd recommend watching this video here. And if you've not subscribed to our channel yet, but want to, then you can click this button here. And that's it for this one. We'll hopefully see you on another video very soon.